You probably don't know this, but you can't get news on Instagram or Facebook if you're in Canada. In fact, most Canadians don't know this. Canadians still come to Facebook and Instagram looking for news like people do around the world. But what they're finding there instead is hyper-partisan, meme-like content that leans mostly toward the conservative side, as well as straight-up fake ads and disinformation relating to the political campaigns. This is becoming a serious issue as the country heads toward a really consequential election on April 28th. In 2023, Meta blocked news from its platforms in Canada. And in that news void, there are other voices that dominate the information landscape. One important example is a page called Canada Proud. It's been very successful in promoting conservative partisan content around important election campaigns. These videos have been viewed 60 million times. If we look at how individual candidates are doing and how Canada Proud is doing, we'll see that Canada Proud has been tremendously successful. They've been ramping up the sort of spin, if you will, in favor of the Conservative Party. And they've been doing that by really sharply focusing on Mark Carney, who's the Prime Minister of Canada. Some of the attacks on Carney are fairly standard partisan content. Other posts are much more misleading and a bit dangerous. For example, they've made several posts that suggest that Mark Carney is linked to the late convicted sexual predator, Jeffrey Epstein. So when my colleague Stuart Thompson and I asked Meta about this ban and the impact it's having ahead of the important federal elections, they put the blame at the feet of the Canadian government. Back in 2023, the Justin Trudeau government introduced a law that required those platforms, and particularly the giant Meta, to pay Canadian publishers for the content that was posted. But Meta felt that this was going to set a precedent for its operations worldwide, and they decided to simply ban news from its platforms. This is creating a really unusual news desert at a time when Canadians really need the news.